Is Lynch knives? Knife. Można mislim simple. 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 Not Lynch. It's October 23rd, 2025. It's Tuesday in Neve, so yeah, today totally cloudy. It's totally wet and cloudy skies in general, and also in a wind cold and heavy. Considering the period, not also in general, it seems cold and heavy wind, and it's early after right 13 and 3 minutes, 9 and 8 Fahrenheit, 69 and 8 Fahrenheit, 21 Celsius, and this means this is really soft down, like in the Siberia, it's very soft, because to use for us, hold on to spring beer, and so Star Wars 4 years ago, as you was considering the fact that the channel, the 4 years on last June 17, and also fact that really, last summer, they were 4 years for the reports, and so episode non follow me, in fact, per summer fin con body, because you also fact that you can enter a new to also for new to and there 4 years with the reports, was not for the art to see. Winter and spring was detto nei casi there still 3 years where as rap some non rimane fin con body, was mai, cioè ne suppose lì. I'm sure at times the image examples to associate some of the times my purpose perché ti piace to watch one is video is the better perhaps paradox for me and then do so in particular pressure also for the winter and spring and summer so for the winter so it's cool for spring and adjective so for the summer once again adjective so for the summer adjective so that's from the Jesus all the periods of classic adjective and as regards in English it is for me was a thing same for that absolutely complete but in this period surely was seeing a passage from summer to autumn, above all, last change, definitive change of temporary degrees happening in the last 3 weeks. Vatican now the area is completely changed and pleasant, but with air also means the same temperature degrees, so and degrees so all the sum of these things make the situation and condition completely pleasant, but what is at this for me also for the people, from a I think of not because difficult, from a I think of yes, for this depends on them. In general, for me also in stile, but ha scritto stazione absolutely, I can say everything as you just before like this is really bad artistism to fucking be as my friend. I referendum I think potrebbero at this point as just before 69 Fahrenheit 21 Celsius. Nata, l'importante in questa atmosfera c'è tanto ci vede. Before the Elisa. Curtine insomma se curtine già se mi consente mi scioglie se mas perfect se suppose fa caso un tasso di ripetere stessa essere stessa totally what you got sky and seeing the end of the days according what to read considering the sensations and things it's possible to later in late afternoon or some say afternoon or later in late afternoon at the beginning dark bleaker and also at my tree from a few months from later I think we're really close we see what will happens let's see what will happens. But also, se non bisogna tanto immaginare, se faccio queste minuzze clear, sappiamo scrivere. Today, bad. So she is from the video Win and University, insomma, November 1 to 2 against 1 years more than La mensen waar liefloos door 3 consecutive years facem niet met de curve van leed tot in geloof perfect dat je weet ze wordt in rede zo want je is maar la mensen en dus is befrequent mensen wat both when recent and also in reason but more when reason was effect measure also the things it is per percentage is but also no is better mismo for me it's sentirete quindi si shot at simon Secondo è cresciuta l'università fatta opzioni di chiesa sì di Ayed Orsini sim it speaker sentence ma tools from always better vision for me it's sentiti he needs a shot at seconds ago and shot and finally from my medical cure and just Sunday 14 epigenes can't be for also si chiesa si mi shot no, così molto people lo lasciando riporsi essere medicatori sono il bottom system so myself so moschiesa and finally I hope you will get breakfast today it's late in general also my ass fuck when I see you written from us but the more important is that it's free on the rich is my teach was son fucking breakfast and tennis family stato video di fiantane partiamo da attività sul estero finché 3 ore 0 siamo 3 se sarà ci potrebbe ripetere parlo di close di con le tools for me hours they're just only obviously just in quarter 13 and 3 minutes l'important thing to show is remember that in some way also be fortunate as I'm younger and as we always say ecco fa sono mi sono the things left in the world absolutely non senza nemmeno se che posso dire mi sa non c'è I was so good the thing l'architetto preso frate ma sono io tema c'è capito se io tra i primi mesi tu io e one time sono io tema c'è capito se io presi si detto c'è stato così di 5 per esempio scelta di mettere si inizia il gioco così ma io che mi sto niente insomma questo no from the shots with the effect of biscuits and with maybe come su biscuits and serious and I think that one mess not to mess against the chocolate because you're the cookies with the chips chocolate or chocolate chips and fratte mistiche also fruit biscuits and Lynch as I got nothing in particular. There are two things that you want to say and raise first one to make a shot from negative can see it in a coffee obviously ma tu sei chocolate in fact sono tanti fanno shot tra quanti shot ne venif hasta fin che ten abbiamo molto meglio se si chiede allo suo conto se non è da 50 su der uso ne more ne squeak così ti finisce nowadays once again we will brought it once again I think more than 60 days 60 days se si chiede allo suo conto se non è da 50 su hai fatto insert da it once again milk. So, very good news, and within this also the fact that the breakfast was about the spirit in particular, ma si chiede se la spirit inizia il gioco, che sono detto che matta questa maniera, ma some way was but also I mean in fact I'm referring to the first days of first time as last of that period or this last period, but in some way we can see also that all Nicholas breakfast as sabam and second thing is about fiesta, and if an army fiesta Conad Italian serious in this right same position. Shouldn't at this position for me era bamma. Italian serious fa cose a truia come andando io because they are really super bad. Also, tomorrow is a positive one today. In fact, I'm not telling you to let them know. I'll see.